And joining us now with more on the prospects for Israel-Saudi normalization and the expansion of the Abraham Accords is reporter and analyst Amine Ayoub. Amine, so really is Israel misreading the situation? You know, many senior Israeli officials have dismissed claims that Israel will have to make concessions to the Palestinians, but now really it seems that it's not the case.
Well, the media reports have been not clear lately. There were too many media reports, but nothing actually came from the Saudis or the Israelis. The Israelis, of course, they're going to be worried about a deal with Saudi Arabia, because as you know, Saudi Arabia is actually sees itself as a protector of holy sites for Muslims. And of course, this deal will bring in other Muslim countries to normalization, such as Indonesia and Malaysia. So Israel I think that they need to be cautious for any concessions that actually Saudi Arabia is asking for. And Israel's first concern should be its state security. And the last deal that was made, or the diplomatic relations that were actually restarted between Saudi Arabia and Iran, actually should be a point of cautiousness. I think that the Israelis should be cautious about this deal and not to give too many concessions.
You know, speaking about the Israelis, it seems like the United States is going to put a lot of pressure on the Israeli government to really clinch a deal right here. What would a deal with Riyadh actually look like?
Well, I think that this government, the current Israeli government, is not going to give any concessions, especially this government, which is looked at internationally as the most right-wing government in the history of Israel. I think they're right, because I personally think that the state of Israel should look at its security first of all. I think a deal will be like a light, we can call it a light form of an Abraham Accords with Saudi Arabia, where actually each country is looking for its own interests. So Saudi Arabia is still looking for to protect itself from Iran. They're still fighting this proxy war in Yemen. I think that Israel is also looking for its security. And the US, which is also going to be part of this deal, needs to protect itself from China. So probably it's going to push away China to have any economic or political deals with Saudi Arabia.
Now, really, I mean, moving on to the wider Abraham Accords, you've covered Morocco extensively. Now, Israel recently recognized Moroccan sovereignty over the Western Sahara. What can you tell us more about it?
Well, before the start of the Abraham Accords, that were actually the last country that, one of the last countries that signed those accords was Morocco. And actually, President Trump at that time was actually recognized the sovereignty of Morocco over its Sahara, and that was part of the whole deal. It took some time now that the Israelis actually recognize the sovereignty of Morocco over the Sahara, and this actually is through the hard work of our King Mohammed VI and our diplomacy. I think that this is going to be a good start again of these relations, because Morocco was actually waiting for this decision by the Israelis to actually start our. I mean, a lot of media actually talked about not having embassies in both countries. So I hope that this is going to be the start of actually having embassies and having greater relationships between the two countries.
It looks amazing, you know, about the relationship with the two countries. Seems like the relations are really flourishing between Israel and Morocco. Can you tell us about some latest collaborations or latest relations between both countries?
Well, what I can tell you is in security and military, there were a lot of collaborations even before the Abraham Accords. But now these things are becoming more public. And also, it's going to be easier for Israeli companies to sell those some of the defense systems to Morocco, because these things are we have agreements now. We have many MOUs. I personally think that there are a lot of MOUs, and usually MOUs are just on paper. But so I think that things need to actually move to action, and we need to get the people together. of Morocco and Israel.
Sounds positive overall. We're going in a good direction. Amit, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.